Hey everyone, it's triplemangothreat, and today we're talking about a really cool deck that promotes artifacts and enchantments, and when we cast them we're going to get 1/1 blue fairies with flying that we can end up attacking with, and our commander is going to give our creatures with flying +1/+0. Let's jump right into it. Our commander is Alela, Artful Provocateur. For 1 white, blue, black, we have a 2/3 fairy warlock with flying, death touch, and lifelink. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+0, and whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. So what's really sweet is by casting artifacts, we get 1/1 fairies, so when we cast our mana rocks like Azorius, Dimir, and Orzhov's Signet, just by us ramping, we're getting 1/1s with our commander on the battlefield. We have ways to draw cards with Reconnaissance Mission, which is an enchantment, so we're going to get a 1/1 fairy from this, and whenever a creature we control deals combat damage, we get to draw a card. Our fairies have flying, so that's going to make them more likely to hit our opponents. Mentor of the Meek is another great example for card draw. It isn't an artifact or enchantment, but it's very powerful. Whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under our control, we can pay 1 mana, and if we do, we get to draw a card. So when we cast an artifact or enchantment, and we pay 1 more mana, we can draw a card. Idol of Oblivion. We can tap Idol of Oblivion and draw a card if we've made a token this turn. Well, we have 16 artifacts and 25 enchantments in the deck, so that means we have 41 cards that we can count on making us our 1/1 fairy tokens. And one of my favorites in the card draw category is Windreader Sphinx. Whenever a creature with flying attacks, you may draw a card. So all of our tokens meet this requirement, and our commander as well. But it doesn't specify only our creatures, so whenever an opponent attacks with a flying creature, we get to draw off of that as well. If we need to mess with our opponents, we can do that with some removal, like Banishing Light and Oblivion Ring. These do the same exact thing, and they're enchantments so we can get even more creatures. We can exile a non-land card until it leaves the battlefield, and we can even mess with our opponent's graveyards with cards like Nihil Spellbomb and Tormod's Crypt. They're artifacts, so again we can trigger our commander, make more creatures, and if our opponents are graveyard focused, this is really going to set them behind. When we need to reset the board, we can do that with Austere Command, Hour of Reckoning, and Time Wipe. Austere Command was recently reprinted, so it's about $1 right now, and it can do really amazing things. We get to choose 2 from destroying artifacts, enchantments, creatures with CMC 3 or less, or CMC 4 or greater, so we get a lot of options to work with, and Hour of Reckoning is really sweet because it will destroy all non-token creatures. Our deck is going to have a ton of tokens, and Time Wipe is another sweet board wipe because we can return 1 creature to our hand, which is most likely going to be our commander, and the rest are going to be destroyed. Now, protecting our commander is very important as well. We can do this with Gift of Immortality and Kaya's Ghost form. If our commander dies, we're going to get her right back onto the battlefield, so this is going to make it a little bit harder for our opponents to get rid of her. Now, if you're wanting to upgrade the deck, I have to recommend Cathar's Crusade and Divine Visitation. We can replace these for Sigil of the Empty Throne and Dictate of Heliod. Both of these are going to make our tokens a lot bigger, with giving them +1/+1 counters every time a creature enters our battlefield, and instead of making 1/1s, we can make them 4/4 angels with flying and vigilance. And our commander will still give the 4/4 angel tokens +1/+0. And as for the lands, I want to recommend Glacial Fortress, Isolated Chapel, and Drowned Catacomb. We can replace these for Scoured Barrens, Dismal Backwater, and Tranquil Cove. So instead of them entering tapped and gaining us life, we now have a chance for them to enter untapped if we control one of the lands they're asking for. Thank you all so much for watching. We're currently at 806 subscribers, and I want to say thank you for supporting this channel. Liking, commenting, and subscribing really helps out, and if you'd like to purchase this deck, make sure to use the TCG link below. It will really help out the channel at no additional cost to you. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.